And our vision is to inspire change and success through thought leadership and cooperation across industries and borders. And our mission is to build value creation through common arenas, collaboration, and co-creation. We wanted to really create a collaborative arena across the Nordics that will help us to connect collectively to the global fintech ecosystem. Because, as we say, each of us in the Nordic are too small to stand alone. In 2017, we have had meetings in Oslo, in Stockholm, Helsinki now, and in Reykjavik. And first quarter next year, we will also have our first meeting in Copenhagen, where Danske Bank will be our host. We have 95 members within both banking and finance, telecom, retail, and media. And we have global partners, that's the one you saw here today, 11FS, Financial Service Club, of course, in London, and we have an agreement cooperation with the largest fintech hub in the world, Lattice80, in Singapore. In 2016, we had 4 meetings. We had topics like disruptive innovation and fintech revolution. We were looking into the year of the blockchain. We had payments. We were talking about open APIs. And we also launched our entrepreneurship. We have a lot of young talents with the vision to spur innovation between some of the largest Nordic NFI companies and develop ideas that could be launched globally. So we use these entrepreneurs, the young talents, to show us that we can really do that. And now we have probably one, we don't know, but we have maybe one NFI startup that the cross-border team is working on. And I think that is really showing us that we can work together. And we also have, when we have these meetings, Chris has a humongous network globally. So when we have speakers like we had machine learning now in February this year, we had Mr. Brett King visiting us. And we had marketplaces and platforms in the second half in 2017. And then we had Monzo, Sterling Bank, Bud, we had Saxo Bank, we had Clear Bank, Fevris, and we had also Solaris Bank joining. So it's also, when we have topics, we also have the best of international speakers joining us. And it's always an international session because it's important for us to look into the global changes and how they affect us here in the Nordic. And for us, we have to think we're too small, so we have to stand alone. And we also visited Singapore this year and signed a agreement with Lattice80 when it comes to sharing office space and exchange program. And in 2016, we decided that we would visit US. So we went to Silicon Valley and New York. So it was 2016, it was the US before Trump took over, and now with Asia, we had to move. So this year we're looking into the Asian market. Leapfrogging from nothing. What are they doing? It's so interesting. So when we met Lattice80, we learned something, a new culture, fast, smart, and agile. It was just great. And we also offer this year roundtable meetings. We have roundtable executive dinners. We had some in May. Then we were talking about, with a small group, talking about open banking and its impact on business models. And we had one in Stockholm and we had one in Oslo. And tomorrow we are going to have one in Stockholm as well, where we are meeting all the wallets, the CEO from Swish and Vips and Mobile Pay, discussing how the global changes will affect us here in the Nordic. Are we competitors, even within the Nordics, or shall we collaborate? This is our last meeting this year, but we in the end of the month we have Northern Lights Hackathon. 3 days, 5 Nordic countries, 150 participants divided into 15 teams. And goals is to solving the digital changes of tomorrow in cross-sector and cross-border teams. We're always talking about, as you see, our vision and mission, cross-sectors, cross-borders, and collaboration. They're going to build a Nordic innovation network culture together with us and show again, like we did with the entrepreneurship, that we can work together. They are learning how to solve challenges through IBM design thinking process and using Watson API. And you're all very welcome to send some of your best young talents. It's going to be a great 3 days. And it will be live podcasted by 11FS, distributed to 160 countries. You saw Jason, who is the one who will be there, and David. Chris, he is in Las Vegas, so it's 8 hours between us when it comes to time, so he will have be Skype. We have a Skype meeting with Chris. And maybe after 55 hours of intense work across sectors and borders, the teams will have a lot of fun, and also the result will be a Nordic unicorn. Who knows? We never know, but we always try. And as I said, this year we are focused on Singapore and Asia. We have an event in November in Singapore where we are launching our office space at Lattice 80, where we present common exchange program and events to build global bridges. And we meet the largest bank, DBS, and hear about their excellence in execution. It's a real good story. And Leifsreda, one of the first and leading fintech-focused VC fund with the vision of building and connecting fintech ecosystem across world fintech. And the view you see here is from IBM's Bluemix Garage. Just be up there and look around. We saw like Singapore. It was just fantastic. So we are going to have a half-day workshop at their garage. They have 9 garages in the world, and this is one of them. And next year, they also is opening together with NFI one in the Nordics. And we are meeting Telenor Bank, who has more customers than all the largest Nordics banks together. And how are we doing this? We are a small administration supported by a project organization, it's specialists from our members. Together with our 95 members, we agree on what we are going to do. The NFI entrepreneurship, the hackathons, all came through discussing, networking, what shall we do together? It's not what we have been thinking out, it's what you together with us have been decided to do. But when you said, Irene, I want to do that, then we do that. Because say, okay, let's do that. Because we are going to do as they do in Asia, fast, smart, and agile. We're just going to show that we are going to preach, to show that we are practice what we preach. So when it comes to NFI, it's all about building this arena and do projects together. And also, maybe, if we're lucky, we have a unicorn coming out. It's my dream, and I really think that we can have an NFI startup also. So we really had to think about if, like a journalist asked me, what if we have a startup, who is going to own it? And you also, all those typical questions. So we said we have to have an NFI investment fund. So that is what we're working on now. So together, we are moving on. And back to the agenda, as well as being chairman of the board and co-owner of NFI, traveling around the world, have twins that are 17 months. It's unbelievable. He's one of the most influential speakers in global fintech. He blogs every day. If he doesn't do it, he feels really bad. He's author of the best-selling book, Digital Bank, Value Web, and soon he's launching his new book, Digital Human. And through Chris Networks, we really can connect to the global fintech ecosystem. I hope you see that through our vision, through our mission, we are really practicing what we are preaching. And Chris is also, when he is at our meeting, he is also facilitating the meeting. So now he will take over facilitating the rest of the day and set the scene by asking, how can financial institutions collaborate for the future?